Good evening and welcome to Stupid O'Clock. Stupid O'Clock. Yeah, that thing. I'm your host, Joan Rivers. Oh, grow up. With me tonight. In case you didn't notice, Joe's not here tonight. Dan's not here tonight. Let's see who else ain't here tonight. Let's see. Joe Bachman is here tonight. And our special guest star, Ace Frehley. Wait. Stephanie Osborne. I'm so shocked.
I'm back. I'm back.
Because nobody else was here and Stephanie was. I mean, that's all.
Well, stuff happens.
It's another Saturday night at 11 o'clock, and here we are. Well, here we are. I mean, nobody else is here.
I'm here.
Hi, Carl. And Sarah.
Carl. Hey, Sarah. Who else is here? Joe Bachman's here. Oh, wait. Donna's here. Hey, Donna.
Hi, Donna.
Hey, Donna. Yeah, I punched the wrong button. Start.
It happens.
Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it wasn't.
I say we could have made this the shortest stream ever and just played High Flight.
Yeah.
And
1 minute, 60 seconds. It's sad news today, or actually it was the other day and just recently. WWF Wrestling lost the Sheik. That's right, the Sheik is no longer with us. He had a good run, though. 87, I think it was.
I never watched it anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He was one of the funnier ones.
okay.
Because he pretended to be like an Arab terrorist or something like that, and sort of, and just kind of, it's funny. He butchered it. The line, of course you tell us that, but he butchered it, and it's just so funny listening to him insult people. It's kind of like watching Maroney on Johnny Dangerously,
I can't think of the character's name. The terrorist guy that Jeff Dunham does. The puppet.
Ahmed.
Joe Biden. Yeah. Wrong terrorist. Abdul the dead terrorist, or Ahmed the dead terrorist. How did I forget?
Yes. Who is all the time falling apart on him, except at this point I think it's scripted, but the original one wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I kill you.
I kill you.
What's funny? He is popular on Marine Corps bases, and he is popular in Arab countries.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Which I'm really surprised they didn't behead Jeff Dunham. But that's hey.
If you hear me scream, it's because my cat just stepped on my sock feet with his claws. Yes, I'm talking about you, Junior. Oh, here he comes.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yes.
I can smell Canada burning from my house. Oh, wait a
minute. Yeah, tell me about it.
I turned my fan on to blow cool air in,
mm-hmm.
and I kept wondering what the hell's burning. I keep going down checking the oven, and it's Canada.
And it's the smoke, yeah.
That's just finally hitting you down there, because I've dealt with it all week.
It's been hitting here for about 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's rough.
Northwest Indiana has been real hazy the last week.
I was sitting here on Facebook and again had the fan in the window, and then all of a sudden I'm like, who's, it's like 3 a.m. I'm like, who the hell is burning wood at 3 a.m? Which bugs me because I want to make sure the house ain't on fire,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh yeah, Canada's on fire. I read about it on the news. So I posted it right there. I can smell Canada burning from my house. Excuse me.
I had a horrible sneezing fit. I was out with a friend. A friend was visiting the area from further south in the state, and I was showing him around and stuff. And when I got home this evening, I just had this horrible, horrible sneezing fit of just, clearing.
Well, the
Mhm.
good news
Don't-
is, I don't know about you, Stephanie, but we are about to get some rain.
Yes.
Yeah, good thunderstorms for the next day and a half. Or something.
Yeah, several days. It's I've got the local news on in the background here, and the radar's tracking it. It's already into western Alabama. So
That was weird. They had that big low pressure system going up the East Coast, and it was what caused all those launch cancellations with Cape Canaveral for long, because it was just hanging out there off the Atlantic, and it's been slowly. All our weather for that 2 weeks that it was out there kept coming in from the east.
Yeah, which is really weird around here.
Yeah, really. Our weather normally comes in from the southwest.
Yeah,
from your neck of the woods, Stephanie. And
yeah, well, and then I watch it coming up from Texas. So
right. So
I wish you could see this face that's looking back at me right now.
He's wondering why you haven't turned the lights off and gone to bed. That's what that is.
No, because I'm never in the bed at this hour.
No.
Lately, I haven't even been in bed at the normal time that I would go to bed, which is around 3 a.m.
Of course, cats don't understand electronic communications, so he thinks you're talking to him this much, and he's like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
Actually, I'm pretty sure he can hear you guys, even though I've got the headset. Believe it or not, yeah, I'm pretty
sure. He probably
sure.
wonders what that squeaky thing is on your ears.
It probably. Don't you? Yeah, because he just looked up at me at that, and then for all the world, I kid you not, he gave me one of those.
When you're not looking, I'm going to eat your headphones.
But he's over here on the arm of the chair like a sphinx now. So.
I don't know if y'all are into music as much as I am, but George Winston died too. He was a piano composer and did music and just
okay, yeah.
And he had an album. I've got it over here somewhere. Is the December album, and it's one of those things you can put on in the background when you're doing opening Christmas packages or doing Thanksgiving dinner or something like that. It's really cool piano kind of mellow.
I have to look that up.
I posted it to Stupid O'Clock, and strangely enough, I found it on YouTube. They had the whole album.
Oh, okay. I got to go find that then. Because that sounds like just the sort of thing that I would love to.
I highly recommend it. I posted the whole thing. Of course, I found that whole album posted at Stupid O'Clock. I'll probably get Joe kicked off the internet for like a month. It's YouTube.
All right, now
it probably won't get him kicked off the internet.
No.
Twice. Like, they keep doing this crap to us about posting stuff on Facebook, YouTube, and then when we repost it, they kick us off the internet for it. And we're like, what the heck? We got it from Facebook. How can you kick me off Facebook for posting something that Facebook, I got off of Facebook? And then, we should probably file a class action lawsuit.
Stop.
What's $100 times 330 million American citizens?
Come on. There we go. Finally. I found it.
Did you now?
Yeah. Where you posted it.
Oh.
Now I'm in the process of bookmarking it.
I gotta remember to do that one day. All these books, no bookmarks.
I can fix that for you if you want. Says the author.
I still need to get a page set up for you, Stephanie, on ndcd.org. I need to reach out to you about that.
On what?
The Independent Creators Directory.
Oh, okay.
It's a website that I started for people to have basically a safe place to have all their links to their various works posted.
Okay.
And
Well, feel free to grab. Let me put my website in the messenger chat, and feel free to grab whatever you like off it.
Okay.
And there we go.
I heard that.
Oh,
Was that what that ding was?
That ding is my phone
Yeah.
on Facebook over there in the
Oh,
corner.
okay.
Heck, that's half the time. That's how I remember the show's coming on.
I have more.
I'll be sitting here on the computer gaming away. All of a sudden, bing, and be like, look at the clock. Oh, shit.
I have to have alerts for all that stuff to remind me. Oh, it's time to go watch the news so you can see what the weather's going to be tomorrow, and it's time to call mom and dad, and all this kind of stuff, because this thing is my outboard brain. So yeah.
When Elon Musk said he was going to come up with those brain chips, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'd want to get a chip put in my brain, but the older I get, the better that actually sounds. It just.
I still don't know about having a brain implant. That just kind of, it's okay. They tell me that I need both my knees replaced. All right. So far, I haven't done it. Why? Because the idea of cutting out bone and soft tissue and replacing it with plastic and metal squicks me out. So I don't know.
You work for NASA. You should be used to titanium.
Titanium. Thank you very much. But no, for some reason, the idea of inserting something that doesn't normally belong there just doesn't appeal.
I have never gotten a piercing. I've never gotten a tattoo. And the reason is, I figured if you're going to be in the military as long as I was, you really shouldn't go out and have metal inserted in your body as a hobby.
Probably.
Yeah, 'cause that's a bad trend to get started right there.
Well, I've got ear piercings, but I did that for the simple reason that it reached a point where I couldn't find earrings that weren't pierced. So if I wanted to wear earrings, I had to get my ears pierced. So I did.
It's a communist plot. So you'll have to go to Claire's and get your ears pierced by somebody that doesn't know how to pierce ears.
For a while, I actually had 2 piercings in each lobe. And I actually think I still do in this one, but one of them grew back and grew closed in this one. But I liked it because I could have like one stud and one dangly, So
it's kind of weird. All those years in the military, you weren't supposed to wear beard. weren't supposed to have facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is so your gas mask will seal.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Now I have a beard, and I wake up like every morning like, I gotta go shave, and it's like, oh wait, no, I don't. Oh wait.
Well, it looks good on you.
Oh, thank you.
So sounds like me when I left Staples.
I'm going for the 14-inch GI Joe doll look here.
Okay.
With Kung Fu grip.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Nope.
Nope.
Not the green room. Not the green room.
Yep,
this road may be closed but open to the green room, but it is not the green room still.
Yes.
Wait. One was Kung Fu grip. Okay. The other one was karate chop action. I did both.
Okay.
I combined them. Kung Fu, karate chop action. I'm pretty sure they're a bunch of martial arts aficionados out there. You can't combine Kung Fu and karate. What do you?
I could see it. Anyway. Donna, okay, sorry.
Hey, the only martial art I actually ever took is the ancient art of Colt Ching Ching. Colt Ching Ching.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. I was pretty good at that.
I did study karate, and I got into the mid belts, and then it reached a point where I was in a belt test, and I threw a snap kick, and for the knee, the operative word was snap.
Yeah.
Because the entire dojo could hear my knee go
Oh.
pow.
Um,
And at that point, my orthopedist was like, "No, you're done.
I've
Stop
owned enough.
karate."
I've owned enough old cars that I don't trust any fighting method that involves belts because I've broken way too many belts on my cars.
Well, there is a trick to learning how to tie the belt.
Yeah.
But
Now, if the belt was made out of like stainless steel chainmail,
mhm.
and like somebody really ticks you off, just pull that belt off. You know, whack! Oh,
I actually, in my most recent book, I had the main character. One of the two main characters is Jewish.
Uh-oh.
And so it follows his progression from childhood in a concentration camp through to joining moving to Israel and joining the IDF. And so since they were pretty much immediately having Palestinian problems, local teenage gang was harassing the IDF guys on leave, and so he comes out of his unit's favored bar, and it pretty much like 3 or 4 guys accost him, and he takes a leaf out of his older brother's page. His older brother managed to kill a Nazi guard with a rock right here, and then he fell out of the watchtower and broke his neck. Of course, they killed him for it, but so he picked up a rock out of the alleyway and beamed the leader in the head and knocked him out. And so, all the while yelling for the rest of his unit. And so then the rest of his unit comes out, and the commander of the unit is like, "Okay, I'm going to name you David because you just took out the guy with the rock." And so about a week later, 2 weeks later, Franz gets a package in the mail. He was like, "There ain't nobody to send me a package. What's it?" And he opens it up, and it's the guys had knives, and so the CO had a friend make him a chainmail shirt, and said, "Next time you go to the bar, wear this under your khakis." And it should, unless they stab, if they like to slash. If they stab, you're in trouble, but if they slash, it'll block it. So he got to thinking, okay, he's calling me David. So he went and he got a bag of shooter marbles and a kid's sling because it takes up less room to use that than the
actual sling.
Yeah, right. And so the next time they came up, 4 marbles and the guys are on the ground. And he's still yelling for his unit, but when his unit comes out, the guys are all unconscious. And the CO sees him standing there with a marble in one hand and a sling in the other, and just doubles over laughing.
I got into an argument with one of my friends. He was kind of country, and we were talking about wrist rockets, runs on the rubber tubing.
Mm-hmm.
And called it slingshot. He goes, "That's not a slingshot." I said, "Yeah, it is." He goes, "No, that's a flip." And I had never heard that term before. But apparently,
Yeah.
he brought this up. Says a slingshot has two big long thongs in a pocket. You put the rock in it, and, and he goes, "That's a flip."
The rain has arrived. Sorry, go ahead. I can hear it. Yeah.
Train? What train? I didn't hear train.
Rain. Sorry, go ahead. Okay, so a flip. The Y thing is a flip.
That's what he called it. And I'd never heard that before.
I have not. This is the first time I've ever heard that. Strange.
I still call them slingshots, but I still, think of it. Every time I think about it, it's like it's a flip. We're calling it a slingshot because there is a distinct difference. Slingshots. That's probably the oldest military weapon.
Yeah.
After a sharpened stick, okay, or a rock.
Yeah.
And
what's talking about military weapons? Everybody's like, well, none of the Native Americans had things like swords and stuff like that. The heck they didn't.
Nope. It depends on which native. Yeah.
The Mayans took pieces of wood, sharpened pieces of obsidian, and lined the wood with the obsidian. It's got a handle.
What's
it's
that
got
thing
two
called?
sharp edges.
What is that thing called? Oh yeah, I was just strange enough. I just read a book where one of the bad guys all the bad guys were carrying that.
So yeah, and they had the wheel also, because there are actual archaeological discoveries of children's toys. You know, like the little kids pull toys.
Yeah,
little kids pull toys with wheels in Mayan burials. So, surprise.
I don't know if you saw it. I posted it a while back on Stupid O'Clock. Was somebody posted a video showing what the continents on Earth, where the tectonic plates were, and what the tectonic plates looked like over the last 400 billion years.
Yeah,
I think it was.
Did it animate it?
Yeah, and I went back, I let it go forward. I stopped it at 66 million years, which was when the Chicxulub impactor hit. It was kind of fun. Mexico wasn't there at the time.
Yeah.
It was underwater. There was no land bridge between North America and Central South America.
No. And North America was in two pieces because there was a channel up through it.
Now he did sort of show that channel, but it didn't show water in it. I guess it.
Okay. That's shoot. I used to know the name of the thing, but it set up a seismic seiche in that, and we're talking about several hundred miles across here.
Right.
And it ran from roughly where the mouth of the Mississippi is now up diagonally to the northwest.
Right.
And so
followed what would be sort of be the Rockies.
Well, to the east of the Rockies, but right. Yeah. And that's where they're finding a lot of the stuff now to show what happened during the impact and thereafter, because there's a site in the Dakotas that was right on the edge of it.
Yeah, when that thing hit, it threw water all the way, almost Canada.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it threw ejecta, like molten rock, ejecta all the way around the planet, and exo. Some of the stuff that's out there is actually debris that was thrown out of Earth's gravity well by that impact.
They were, I wonder how much of that stuff wound up on the moon, because one of the things they talk about a lot when they talk about the moon's geography and such is the moon actually has just a very faint atmosphere.
Yes.
Stolen from Earth.
Yeah.
Because every time an asteroid comes by, it rips some of the atmosphere, rips some of the atmosphere away, And if the moon just happens to pass in that area, it'll pick that stuff up.
Mm-hmm. Also, it'll do the coronal mass ejections will do that to a lesser extent.
Right.
But that's one of the reasons why Mars doesn't have any more atmosphere than it does.
Right.
Is because in the lack of a magnetic field, there's nothing to protect it from a CME just smacking it head on.
Right. And it's kind of small anyway. So
yeah. But it did once have a magnetic field because we've been able to find remnants where like lava has solidified and preserved the magnetic field, what they're called fossilized magnetic field remnants.
I wonder if we rub like Mars and Venus together enough that we magnetize them. It's like, somebody, and there's people talk about, and I think you and I have talked about it before, is that you can't really terraform Mars because it's just too small.
It's too small. You'd be constantly having to add atmosphere back to it.
Right. And somebody said, well, we could add mass. I'm like, how?
Exactly. Yeah.
You
got to melt the planet down and redo it. That's going to take a while.
Yeah, but he was talking about pulling stuff out of the atmosphere, out of the asteroid belts, and dropping it on Mars. And I'm like, do you have any idea how long that's going to take and how much destruction that is going to rain down on Mars? I mean, by the time it'd be like trying to colonize.
Well, it's going to take care of the rest of the atmosphere too.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's got an atmosphere like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think, oh yeah, we're just going to terraform Mars and we're just going to make it just like Earth. No. Short of melting the planet down and starting over. And for that, you'd have to find a whole lot of metallic asteroids to drop into it and let it sink to the center. You ain't going to terraform Mars to make it anything like Earth.
We cut it in half, stuff the stuff in the middle like a stuffed, onion bomb, meatball onion bomb. Mm-hmm. Stuff all the stuff in the middle and then put it back in.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Well, it's like also everybody's like, oh, we should build a Dyson sphere or a ring world. No, it's a really cool concept, and I love Niven and Pornell for coming up with the ring world concept. But
the mass,
the mass is the problem. There is not, outside of the sun, there is not enough mass in the entire solar system, and I am including the Kuiper belt and the Oort cloud. There is not enough mass in the solar system to construct one, and there is definitely not enough structural material in the entire.
That's right, sci-fi people. We're crushing your dreams right here on Stupid O'Clock.
Well, the other thing is that to build a Dyson sphere requires material that doesn't exist or an ability to subvert orbital mechanics. Because remember, to put something in orbit, it has to be orbiting the center of mass, okay? So now here's your axis. Here's your center of mass in the middle of the axis, okay, which is the sun's rotational axis, okay? How are you going to rotate something up here? You're not. It's going to fall in. You have to rotate it around the center to have an orbit. This is not an orbit.
I wonder if we could build a giant tilt-a-whirl.
That would be more doable.
That pretty much describes our solar system right there. It's a giant tilt-a-whirl.
as for the ring world concept, you might have enough mass in the solar system to build a ring world, but the problem with that is that a circle is a very special case of an ellipse where the two foci have merged. Most orbits are not circles. They may be very close to circles, but they're not circles. They're ellipses.
Close meaning within 1 million miles.
Yeah.
That's
The problem with an elliptical orbit versus a circular orbit is elliptical orbits do not maintain the same speed.
it wouldn't be a ring world, it'd be a hula hoop.
Yes, and it would be an oblong hula hoop at that. And so you need basically adamantium and unobtainium and what was the stuff that Cap's shield was made out of? Vibranium. You need adamantium, vibranium, and unobtainium to build one of these things.
I know how we build it. We just get everybody to donate their old Nokia cell phones, plug them together, and I don't care how tough the orbital mechanics are, those things will not break. Okay, it's just
yeah, you're not wrong with that. That'd probably be the best way to do it.
Well, everybody's like, well, it doesn't have to be solid. It doesn't have to be one piece. No, now you have the problem of, okay, you're going to build platforms, a platform ring world. Now you have to speed them up and slow them down so they don't run into each other. Oh, well, we can start out as a circle. If we build it as a circle, it's good. No, because as soon as anything bumps it or knocks into it, or as soon as part of it gets hit with a CME, it's just gone off circular. So, and then it's going to eventually fall into an elliptical, hopefully relatively stable elliptical orbit. But now each one has its own separate elliptical orbit. There's your problem. So,
the new garden hoses that have come out that they coil up and you can put it like in a little bag and then you fill it with water, it turns into a water hose.
Theoretically, yeah. Have you messed with any of them? I have not.
My mom loves those things, and I hate them. They're so damn fragile. I mean, she ran one past her thorn bush, and the thorns poked holes in it.
Okay. That says it all right there, I guess. I've seen one where they've actually got it lined with like steel belted tire material.
Really?
Yeah.
Most of the one my mom's got is like Cordura nylon, which is tough, but it ain't.
But not tough enough. Yeah. That's the latest one.
Whatever's in it is like literally, it's like surgical rubber tubing.
It's like what?
Surgical rubber tubing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's a water weenie with a valve on it.
Yep. Okay, his shirt just disappeared and his head is floating in space.
Okay. You are now the big giant head. I have.
That is so weird looking.
Isn't it? Back when I was stationed up at Fort Knox, there was a mall I used to go to up in Louisville, and it was when American Eagle Outfitters first came out, and you started seeing them in shopping malls. And they were kind of an urban outfitter kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually made really nice casual wear for like hiking and camping and picnics and stuff like that, boating.
Mm-hmm.
They had these really nice heavy T-shirts, no pockets, no labels or no advertising, stuff like that. And then of course, hip hop came along and killed it. They tried to be urban trendy, and everything had American Eagle Outfitter plastered all across it.
Yeah.
And the quality went down horribly because everything was made in China. So anyway, back when it was still cool stuff, I bought a bunch of their T-shirts, different colors. And over the years, you tear them, you get holes in them, you tear them up. still bleach on them, color fades and stuff. But I still got a few of them from the late 1980s. One of the ones I still have is the Kelly Green t-shirt.
Oh,
I did not think about it. I got on the show. I just grabbed it out of the drawer, threw it on, clean shirt. Started to do the show, brought up the green screen. Here I was, giant floating head.
So the one background I just had up with Independent Creators Directory at the bottom and the little circle in the center, I've thought about for the start of my shows just doing like the MGM logo opening, just fade my head in and just go rawr, and then go into the show.
oh. Uh-oh.
It's an invisibility cloak. They're really rare. Okay.
That's the shirt?
That's the shirt.
Okay. That's cool.
Let me see if I can. It's an original.
Yeah.
Back when they were cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got trendy, which is not cool. Nobody ever told them that. You'd think after they'd lost billions and billions of dollars, they'd have figured it out. And now you can't find them in shopping malls anymore. But yeah, this is hilarious because it's still in darn good shape. I didn't wear this one I was in the Army. I didn't wear green that much when I was off duty.
Can't imagine why.
Jeez,
Which one? I had a yellow one, a white one, a red one, a blue one, a black one, a mustard colored one. I basically bought one of every t-shirt they had.
I don't look good in mustard.
But
well,
that was back in the Miami Vice days, so everybody's wearing bright, Yes, I have my invisibility cloak. I was sitting here one night, and it's just a big giant head. Yeah, okay. Hang on a minute. There. Pull the screen up here just a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
I'm the king of the moon.
Now it needs to have one hand come and go, then you got your.
Let's see here. Give me just a moment because this is actually kind of hilarious if I've still got it. Gotta go up one, pearl two. All right, where am I looking at?
He's looking at this array of files on your screen. You can just tell by the way his head's moving and his eyes moving.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to remember. So I think, let's see if it's under Power Rangers here. No. Was it Zordon? Was that his name? Let's see if it's under Z.
Yep.
Zordon. Oh, yes, it is under Z for Zordon. Hang on a minute.
Okay, you got to keep that up for the rest of the show.
Do I now?
Yeah.
I might have got to change shirts here.
Do you still have the Futurama background?
Let me see here. Oh, yeah, you were here when I was doing that, weren't you? Let me see if I get the Futurama background.
Now, see, mine would be fine if it didn't do weird things to my hair. This whole bald lady business, I'm not good with that.
Well, you're blonde, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's close to green, see?
It probably wouldn't affect it as much if you had the actual green screen.
No, it does. I've tried it. I've got a green screen, yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't set it up tonight. Because I looked at the clock and went, the show's about to start. I'm going to jump in. So, and I just grabbed what I needed.
There it is.
Hey, it's Walt Disney. Hey. Oh, okay.
Well, my laptop is literally in my lap, and I can't stop laughing, so it's going.
I think no, that was more of a woodland green. Darn it! I've been buying a lot of I've been buying Carhartt t-shirts, which are similar to these.
Mm-hmm.
Carhartts only have two problems. One, they have a pocket. Who puts anything in a pocket in a t-shirt?
My dad.
Two, they put a little label on the pocket, just a little square label, stiff material. Rubs the hell out of my nipple. All right, that's
Okay.
So guess what comes off of my t-shirts every time I buy them?
The pockets.
The pocket. I've got I got 3 sewing machines over here, and I've got more sewing equipment than I know what to do with. I've got seam rippers and buttonholers. And did I do that?
I think he dropped out for a second.
I started flipping the shirt around. I was afraid I hit a button and ran him off. Oh, there he is.
No, my mustache is getting to the length now that certain ones are liking to curl up and tickle the bottom of my nose.
And poke you in the nose.
So,
I'm having that problem with cat hair because it's shedding season.
So yeah, this may be getting a trim tomorrow. Which, if I do a trim, that generally means it's all getting shaved off. I'll go back babyface for a couple weeks, and
I have found that the 3/8" guard on my trimmers does great for this and this. So
I guess there's probably one of those upstairs I need to do something about. Hadn't thought about that. Daryl's. It would have one of Daryl's old devices to manage his beard.
I got one I bought at a Marine Corps MX a long time ago, and it finally started giving up the ghost. The only thing wrong with it is somewhere down the line it's gotten dropped by the cord so many times. The cords come loose somewhere inside. It's got screws. If I were just to take it apart and get a soldering gun, I could fix it. I don't have a working soldering gun, which is terribly ironic because I need a soldering gun to fix my soldering gun.
Can you borrow one?
Maybe. But as old as that soldering gun is, I might as well just go out and find a good one somewhere. But and it's not a good. I think the one I've got, literally is Radio Shack. But I'll tell you something. Okay.
Need a soldering gun to fix a soldering gun. That's like needing a pair of scissors to open the new pair of scissors you just bought.
Yes.
Then they're done that.
I try to keep a pair of scissors in every room in the house.
I've started doing that, yes. And
we have 3. Well, technically, I have 5 pairs of scissors in the kitchen.
Box cutters too.
Well, I carry knives with me, so I don't really keep box cutters. I've got them. I just don't. They're down in the garage. I think there's 2 I use of the ones with the extendable blades. You can break off little blade bits.
Mm-hmm.
The good one is over next to the deep freezer where we keep the suet for the suet feeders, and that's what I use to open the suet packages to put. We keep it frozen in the deep freezer, so it's easier to handle when it's hot outside.
That makes sense.
If you put it someplace like if your garage gets up over 85, 90, it turns to soup. Yeah, birds don't like soup.
No.
So I committed a sin with my wife's scissors down here.
Fabric scissors. What did you cut?
I didn't know they were fabric scissors, and she shouldn't have left them on her computer desk if they were. Uh, I needed something to cut out my designs for wood burning. So I went over to her desk, and here's a nice little pair of scissors sitting there. I'm
Now,
like,
wait a
oh,
minute.
this will work.
You're like an engineer. You should have scissors. Good ones.
He's still alive.
Yeah, I don't know how. Because I took them, and she's hardly ever at her computer desk, so I just left them here on mine. And
I was walking through Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware had a pair of Milwaukee brand shears. Okay. Which the difference between scissors and shears have the flat edge.
Yeah.
These have the full metal tang all the way back to the back of the grips. Okay. It does have the nice soft plastic form grips. Has an inch and a metric ruler on the sides of the blade.
nice.
Yeah, and
Want.
they're tough and guaranteed. Just
Want.
Hmm?
Want.
Ace Hardware,
Okay.
highly recommended.
Actually, it's not. There's one not that far from me.
Yeah,
It's Milwaukee brand. So
Okay.
they are a bit pricey. They're I think $26, $27.
yeah, but it sounds like they're worth it. So
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's put it this way. You ever see these horror movies where the guy with the axe is coming in and the only weapon the girl can find are the scissors? These are the scissors you want.
How long are they?
It's an 8-inch. I think it's an 8-inch ruler.
Okay.
okay,
Something like that. And then plus the handle. So it's 8 inches of blade plus the handle. And
Dirk.
the thing is though, they're right-handed, I believe. I don't think they're ambidextrous.
Okay.
Which is actually one of the reasons I got stuck with them, because the person I bought them for was left-handed and I didn't think a damn thing about it.
yes, us lefties get left out in the cold a lot. So
Daryl had problems with scissors because he was left-handed. So.
and no, Donna, when I look at scissors, I go, oh, these cut, and I don't ask questions.
There was a movie a while back, is a mystery movie. It had a really good cast. What's his name? Kenneth Branagh. And what's that girl that's always in Kenneth Branagh's movies? Watson.
Emma Watson?
Is it Emma Watson?
I think so.
Not. Well, technically she was in Harry Potter, but not Hermione. Played Tribble Solani.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tribble Solani. Yeah, that's that. And then I think it's Emma Watson. And what was his name? Derek Jacobi, who was another great British actor. And they were in, and it was a murder mystery. Kenneth Branagh played a detective, and they thought that someone was trying to kill Emma Watson's character, and she was having these psychotic flashbacks about it. So they were trying to figure out what's going on. Well, when he took the case, he started having psychotic flashbacks about it.
Oh my.
And it turns out one of the guys who's Derek Jacobi plays this guy who's trying to like help him to tell him what's going on. You know, and apparently he thinks it's a past life experience that they have both shared. And that she's not actually being followed by someone. She's just remembering a murder from her past life, and that somehow or another he was involved in it. And he might have been the guy that murdered her. So it's about a lot of hypnosis and stuff like that going on. And I'm not going to, but apparently the murder weapon was a really nice pair of scissors because it kept showing up in all her visions about it, what had happened. So you could open a drawer, there'd be a pair of scissors sitting there, and she'd go, ah! It's PTSD on it. And it's pretty cool. I'm trying to remember, Dead Again, I think it was called.
This is interesting. It almost certainly was Emma Watson because she
Thompson.
used to be married to Kenneth Branagh.
Yeah, it's Emma Thompson, not
Emma Thompson,
Watson.
yeah, Emma
Oh,
Thompson.
yeah,
Because she used to
Watson
be
was.
married to Kenneth Branagh.
Yes. Oh, Andy
You know what
Garcia.
broke them up? You know what
Their
broke them
love of
up?
Shakespeare. Their love of Shakespeare.
No. After they were all in the Harry Potter movies together, he had a fling with Helena Bonham Carter.
Ooh, I did not know about that.
Ah.
Oh, I didn't. Man, I was. I told you it had an all-star cast. Robin Williams was in it. Derek Jacobi. There's a lot of good people in it.
Okay, they actually started having the affair when they were both in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. So, interesting. I would have.
I can remember I was in the Army when that movie came out, and that was a big thing. Is every time a new movie went over at the movie theater. It's one of the advantages of the one company I was in then. We were right next to the movie theater. So every time they put the new billboards out, or the what do they call it, the
Movie posters.
movie poster. Every time they put the new movie posters up, we could see it from our bedroom windows. It'd be like,
Oh,
cool.
jeez.
Oh, that's all the video stores that the military had back in those days. You go in and rent the VHS tapes, military version of Blockbuster. I sometimes sit down and wonder how many tons of VHS tapes the military had to get rid of. It boggles the mind to think about that, because it's just every base, no matter how small, had a video store. I mean, if there were 100 people there,
Surplus them?
huh?
Surplus them?
I don't know who'd buy videotapes that soldiers had gone through 150 times.
Okay.
Of course, try finding a VCR nowadays. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm zoning a little bit, guys. I did not sleep well last night. So
me neither. I don't know why either. Okay, have you heard anything about this? There's some sort of big UFO spot thing that's going on in Los Angeles. You heard about this?
in Los Angeles, no. I know about
I'm sorry, Las Vegas.
What?
The wrong lost city.
Oh, okay. No, I don't know anything about that other than I know there's all this big business about, the so-and-so says that the government is lying and that we really do have aliens and their ships and those things are really, all this stuff here. We know that those are alien spacecraft and blah, blah, blah. And I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, prove it.
Yeah, yes.
Somebody, the day somebody can bring me an ashtray that they stole off of an alien spacecraft, that kind of thing, that is demonstrably not terrestrial, will be the day that I believe that we've been visited.
I found something on the spaceship. Looks like crayons. They're Martian cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well, I feel so good. Yes, I do. No, apparently there's something in Las Vegas, and everybody started calling 911, and they got it on body camera. That's what's really interesting about it. Is whatever this light was, they've got video. You can go on the internet right now and find all this stuff. And They called 911 and said, hey, there is something big walking around in my backyard. This is how big? Maybe 10 feet tall. And sorry if you've been drinking. No, well, yes, I have been drinking, but there's something big in my backyard. And it's not just one or two nutcases. It's several neighborhoods and police officers. Of course, it's Las Vegas. There's a very good chance that the entire neighborhoods and all the police officers were all stoned or something like that. So.
Okay.
Just type in Vegas alien, and you'll get all sorts of, or Vegas UFO, and you'll get all sorts of hits on it. Of course, I find it very suspicious that, people in Las Vegas claim to be seeing aliens, and Joe's not on the show tonight.
Yeah. Of course not.
Coincidence? I think not. Yeah, I'm going to laugh when, they figure out that all these people were seeing the Blue Man Group and they just got lost on the way to the, the outlet or whatever. See. Oh, yeah, there's one. I will post one. I found one for CNN. A name you can trust in the news. Not really, but hey. So here we go. I will post it to Stupid O'Clock for those of you who are actually watching the show, wondering what the heck Scarbo's talking about.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and the one. Yes, okay, I'm looking at the body cam footage, but what I'm seeing looks like something doing this, and they were able to not find anything, no beings, nothing that it was quote unquote unfounded reports. So they didn't get anything on that, but it looks like something being blown in the wind.
Well, I saw the green flash they were talking about, and it looked like a meteorite. Just weird.
Maybe. I'm kind of underwhelmed here.
Well, that's just one. There are several.
Yeah.
There used to be this band called Arc Attack, and their big gimmick was they would set up Tesla coils and play music with the Tesla coils.
Mm-hmm.
Do little stunts with the Tesla coils, Faraday cages and things like that. I saw that and I said, we need to build one of those. Take it to Iraq with us. And set it up just inside the concertina wire. And one night, when we know the bad guys are watching our fob, light that sucker up and let it arc up and down the concertina wire. And then turn it off. And then when it's really dark, sneak out there and we'll get some, go to Halloween Superstore and get a bunch of burnt skeletons and hang them in the concertina wire. And then first thing the next morning, drive out there with all the Humvees, make a lot of noise, have a helicopter come in, checking everything out. Make sure the terrorists that were watching us the night before are watching when we start pulling these bodies out, put them in body bags and tote them off. Next night, go to the other side of the mob, pull the same thing. It's like,
come on over here. Come on.
Because I would just love to see the videotape the terrorists get of that.
Yeah, really. Come on.
Because
Okay.
let me tell you, there are some generals at the Pentagon that do these briefings, and they have to be extremely professional and diplomatic when they're giving the briefings, right? But they're actually pretty nice guys if you get to know them. You know, they laugh, they love jokes and stuff like that. And I would just love to see one of them try and keep a straight face while he was explaining this to the White House press, briefing.
Yeah, that would be good.
Do we have Tesla weapons? That's classified. Just
Tesla death ray. Yeah.
Tesla death ray. There's a game I play, Command and Conquer, Red Alert. And one of the weapons, and they have the Tesla towers that you can put in, to defend your. They also have a Tesla tank and a Tesla soldier. And the Tesla tank is looks like a Bradley fighting vehicle with a big metal ball on top. That's the Tesla coil.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, the Tesla soldier, is a guy with an electric gun and a backpack. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice. So when you give him orders, you hear this, fully charged.
We almost had a disaster here with the cabling and the cat's paw.
Yeah, I saw the cabling move as he was going across.
Now he's on the other chair arm over here. So. That would have been something that I would have loved to have seen, though. What you're talking about. That would have been hilarious.
I pointed that out to people, and they said, "No, we couldn't build this." Sure, we could. We got everything. We got everything we need to build Tesla coil right here. It is not that hard.
No, it's not.
And
hey, you don't need the baseball cap. No, you don't need the baseball cap.
Where are we going to get power for that thing? Arc welder.
Mm-hmm.
We got the M113, which we were not using.
I'm losing you.
John, you just really faded out there.
Yeah.
Oh. Can you hear me now?
There you are.
Okay. The M113s have a power pack for the night vision equipment. It's got 20,000 volt output on that big transformer box. I'm pretty sure I could have figured out how to finagle a Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Which is, the M113 is kind of weird. They got this huge infrared sight for it. And it's this darn tall. It's almost 2 feet tall. And there's a hatch. When you pull the driver's hatch down, there's a slot. You undo the armor block in the slot. You push this thing up, lock it in place, and there's your 2 eyeballs. You drive it like this. It's got a big headpiece. You put your forehead up against it. It's not that great. It's not like the night vision goggles or anything. It's very old school. It's almost Vietnam era technology. It's not that great. The only thing that makes it really cool, you have white headlights and you have infrared.
Oh, cool.
With high beams.
Everything is
and you can see a good mile down the road with them things on. And you can see people out there in the woods sneaking around. And you're like, yeah, let's give them another 30 minutes. Let them die tired.
Yeah.
I like that. Only problem is they were very uncomfortable to use. And most people drove with the personnel version, which has no. At least the old ones had a kind of depth perception. The personnel ones don't. I mean, you're literally trying to grab stuff. You can't figure out where your hands are.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just, if you've got to adjust stuff on your rifle, you're like, there. Okay, there. So,
That's not good.
Well, it's, at least they can't see you doing it, hopefully.
Yeah.
Now everybody's got night vision. A lot of people start to get thermal sights too, which that's kind of, for a long time, the United States just dominated in night vision equipment. And then when they realized how good we were at it, everybody started doing it. So,
I may have to drop off here, guys, because I'm running out of steam.
all right.
I hate to.
Well,
I'll stay on a little while
glad to
longer.
have you. We haven't seen you in a bit. So.
Yeah.
Well, it's every time I turn around, I keep scheduling it, putting it into my schedule for the week, and then by the time it's time for the show, it's like, if I don't get this other thing done, I'm going to be in trouble. So I just wind up.
I heard you were editing books. So
I do edit books, yes. In addition to writing them, so yes. So I actually turned in the current manuscript to the writer earlier this evening. So all done with that one.
yeah, I've got to go out and get some books one day because I have read every book that I can see right now twice.
Have you gotten my latest book?
I'm not sure. I've got, let's see, how many I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 of your books I can see from here. So.
Oh, you're a long ways.
Yeah, I got to
I
Tour de
got
Force. Tour de Force was the last one I read.
Okay. There's 14 books so far in the Division 1 series. And I just put out the first book of a spin-off series called Blood Brothers.
Right. That's
That's
Pugsley and what's his name?
Director Fox.
Fox and Pugsley. It sounds like a Disney. It's like a fox and a pug,
But yeah, so I'm trying. What I'm working on right now, I'm trying to work on Rich Wyand 2 more books in the Empire series. And the problem with that is twofold. One, they're spy novels, and spy novels take a lot of gray matter to put together.
I think we are about to get rain on here.
Yeah, well, I had some rain come through here. And 2, the particular one that is the next in the series is about a woman whose husband was a spy and whose husband gets killed. And I don't know, it's just a little too close to home for me as yet. So, even though Daryl died of natural causes. So I'm struggling with it. So.
Yes. You see, Donna said, I saw that movie. It was great. Milo and Otis was, but it was a cat. It was a ginger cat and a pug. They wound up having to live in the wild. I'd never seen a pug bring out moose before.
Yeah, right.
But it was very unrealistic about them having to live in the wild.
Okay,
but what was hilarious was
some more rain.
The male cat found a female companion, and the male pug found a female pug companion in the wild. Because it's wild pugs as they are. You gotta hate it when the pug traffickers just abandon their pugs out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, really.
And you gotta be a really big Disney fan to know the pug trafficking reference. Strangely enough.
Pull up the. Go ahead.
Your book is about basically Men in Black.
Yeah, it's my take on
Okay. And of
the
course,
urban legend.
Men in Black had a pug. And here we are talking about pugs.
Yeah. I got more rain coming in. What I heard earlier was just the first.
Our wind is getting gusty. So I may actually,
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to sit here through this whole show. I may actually have to run downstairs and start closing windows. Because they predicted no rain until about 3. I thought I was good.
I think it's coming in a little early because.
Damn you, weather satellite. Damn you all to hell. Okay.
Well, it's moving faster, so. Come in faster, move out faster. Suits me. Yeah, thanks, Donna. Yeah, it's like a mystery raised a level. It's because you don't just have the detective out for finding the bad guy. You have all of these spies out.
Well, every spy movie is a detective novel, basically.
It is, but it's all of the detectives are out to get all of the other detectives.
Well, all of the great detective movies are basically spy novels.
Yeah.
Maltese Falcon, Casablanca. Casablanca wasn't really a detective movie. I mean, there was a detective in it, but that's...
Yeah. But there was a certain amount of that going on.
Yeah. And,
a lot of the Sherlock Holmes movies, they turned them into...
Yeah. Like the one... What was the one with the Loch Ness Monster?
Hang on.
If you folks will excuse me for just a moment, I'm going to go close some windows because it's getting a wee bit brisk out there.
Yep. Yeah, my rain's not due to hit until tomorrow afternoon. And my neighbor wants to go pick up cabinets from Home Depot.
Oh. That's probably not going to be a plan.
Yeah.
Private Life of Sherlock Holmes? That looks to be the only thing that is really coming up that seems to combine both things. I'm not necessarily on top of the movies like I am the stories. Yeah, that seems to be the one. So there you go, becoming the giant floating head.
Yeah. I've got to remember to quit wearing these kind of neon yellow, neon green shirts when I hop on the shows, but that being in construction, that's my wardrobe.
Yeah.
You know?
So. Well, I mean, my hair is doing it, and I don't know, you guys saw it, but the people watching did not. So let's see if I can find... See my hair doing weirdness.
Wait a second.
There it all goes away.
See, no, I just disabled on StreamYard because I had it set for saying I have a green screen. And now I just disabled it and the whole thing cleared up. Normally it doesn't look like this for me if I tell it I don't have a green screen.
Well, I actually have it set for I do not have a green screen. Nope. Well, if I don't move my head too much, I actually have hair.
Yeah, you just can't
But
really.
if I move
I'm
around too
sure
much,
if you lean back, it'll. Yep. There it goes.
if I go this way, I lose all my hair. If I go this way, I gain hair. I don't know.
And poor Donna's probably sitting here watching us going, what are these two doing? They have lost it.
Oh, okay, Donna. Yeah, that's. Oh, yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah, no, I won't write that. No, he's welcome to that one. Yeah.
I need to sit down and start working on the second volume of my book. I just have so many other projects on my plate currently that it's kind of on the back burner.
Well, aside from, trying to learn to deal with everything without my husband,
Hmm.
my mom is starting to deteriorate. And my dad is having mental issues. And uh, it's been busy. It's been stressful.
Hmm.
So I'm trying.
No, I know how that goes. My mom was in the hospital from December through the end of March before she passed, so it was a lot of back and forth between hospital, rehab center, and
Hmm.
so I trust me, I know exactly where you're coming from with that. So
And I don't know about you, but they're in a different state from me.
yeah, that definitely makes it harder for you.
Yeah. So
She did live with us until she ended up in the hospital, and so at least we were close by. But
well, my sister is not too far away from them. So there's that. So,
that's good.
but I moved to Huntsville for the work, and so now I'm here. So
Hmm.
I do what I can.
Pardon me. Yeah, I need to sit down and at least jot down notes for the next volume because I did a book called Tales of the Highway, which is basically the random crap I've seen happen on our job sites.
Ah,
And the first volume was from when I first started with NDOT up until about 3 years in, and then the second volume will be from when I went back into the construction side through present day. So last year's project could damn near be a book all on its own.
I had forgotten. All the windows downstairs were open, so I had to close them. It's mostly. And went outside. Forgot we left the umbrella up on the picnic table.
oops.
Put that down. Then I went over the greenhouse, and that's what I'm kind of worried about the most. Closed the vents and everything.
Before you left, you were asking about a Sherlock Holmes movie with the Loch Ness monster,
Yes.
The Private Life of Sherlock Holmes.
Thank you. And Sir Christopher Lee played his brother Mycroft.
Okay.
And of course, being, Christopher Lee, he played a superior Mycroft. But I love the one scene where they unveiled the submarine to Queen Victoria and explained how it works and what it did. And he thought she'd be incredibly impressed with it. And she was just chastised him. Says, the English Navy does not fight war in such an ungentlemanly manner. And here's what's funny is watching Sir Christopher Lee get this look on his face like, it's, Yeah, that was
like a fish out of water, gasping for breath.
and you just see that, and you would never see Christopher Lee do that. Period.
Yeah.
I mean, that's acting. You know,
Mhm.
went out to close the greenhouse, and turns out Barry put fertilizer on everything in the greenhouse today, right before he went to bed this evening.
That'd be a lovely odor.
Yeah.
And to make it worse, it's fish protein.
Oh,
Oh.
that smell's not coming out of your nostrils for a couple hours.
And the bad part is I had to go in there and close it while I was in there with it. I was like,
Oh.
it only does that, at first when it's still wet.
Yeah.
When it dries up, it's no big deal. But
You
it takes
definitely don't want it raining in there.
Exactly. Actually, we did think about when I first built it was putting gutters on it and having a rainwater collection system.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Except for mosquitoes.
That's where you carry it underground and into a cistern.
I don't think I could dig a cistern in this ground.
Oh.
I don't think I could dig it. I could blast it.
Oh, gotcha.
The people at Ace Hardware taught me a lovely term that I had not heard. I was not a digger engineer. I was more of the blow stuff up kind of engineer. And taught me a lovely term, chert.
Yes.
And it's like clay, crappy rock, and super glue.
Pretty much, yeah. Mhm.
And it's just our whole
Chert made really good arrowheads back in the day.
Really? Never knew that.
Yeah. Conchoidal fracture, and then just flake it.
You just gave me an idea what to do with all them damn rocks the plumbers left in our yard. Good.
Make arrowheads.
I got one piece of chert that's about twice the size of my head. And it's sitting in the backyard. I still haven't figured out what to do with it. I used some of them to rock off the garden. Keep the lawnmower from getting into the plants.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, I have not planted anything over there yet.
So you've got it. The garden is outlined, but it has nothing in it.
But I haven't weeded or nothing. Everything's in 5-gallon buckets this year.
Oh, okay.
And the reason was I'm kind of apprehensive. Yeah, when I first started doing the gardening, I didn't want to put it in the backyard because the pig and the dogs would mess everything up. So I put most of my gardening out in the front yard. And then every other critter on the planet started messing up my garden. Yeah. Squirrels, chipmunks, rabbits, and here's the kicker, box turtles. I was out there.
Where's your water source?
I was out there weeding in the garden, and I had one of the we have a soaker hose run down the side of the house, and I got the 2 posts with the wires for my tomatoes. I had pepper, tomato. Down the side, no big deal. I'm in there weeding. I look over, and there's these 2 red eyes staring at me, a little reptilian head. I'm like, the first thought in my mind is water moccasins. I jumped back, and my brain, did the rewind and went, that wasn't a water moccasin. I pulled that leaf. It's a box turtle. Little bastards in there eating my tomatoes. When I pulled that leaf out and looked at him a second time, he turned around and ran for his life. It was like oh no, he saw me. I gotta get out of here. Run away! Run away!
Really slowly.
He's chasing me. I'm not chasing you. I've been standing still the whole damn time. All I did was move away. He's chasing me. Somebody stop him. I like box turtles. And so I'm like, what the hell's a box turtle doing way the hell up here on this hill? Nearest water's 300 yards off. I mean, that's. I think the frogs attracted. We have frogs in the backyard. Our little pond. And any night.
Probably now have box turtles in the pond too.
I'm not in that pond. It's a concrete pond. If he gets in there, he can't get out. That I know of. He may have an extraction tool inside that shell for all I know. Any night it rains, you would not believe the frogs in this neighborhood. We got the leopard frog. She's a brick. House. Oh.
I'm playing. But I mean, it's just all of
I
it.
like your piano.
Yeah, well, my sister
those-
actually
those-
had one like that. No, I just my hair. I got to figure out what to do about my hair. I suppose I could do.
That purple.
I used. It wouldn't be the first time, but the problem is that's started to become a bit of a. What's the word I'm looking for? A political statement. It's a statement that I don't want to make. Hang on a minute here.
I got a suggestion. Hey, Stephanie. Oh, she can't hear me. She took her headphones off.
Yep.
All right. Now you know why I don't use headphones. So it's like time to take them off. My suggestion is take your cat to the beauty salon with you and get your hair dyed to match your cat. You don't have to worry about cat hair.
Point.
Yeah.
B, people ask you, nobody's going to ask you what the political statement is with your, hair because you look like a
now,
cat.
That's weird because I've got hair when I've got my hair covered up.
Oh, that is
Yeah.
That is a weird lighting effect of some sort. The only thing I can think of is you've got something that's. Oh, I wonder if it's the glow off the monitors because it's kind of a blue-green kind of color.
That's the wall.
Yeah.
Because there's.
If you go
that's
down,
the wall. Because there's the top of the chair right there.
if you click on settings, Stephanie, it'll give you a fade option, and you can play around with that, and that might fix it. I have to keep mine right on 51.
I don't have any sort of fade anything here.
Under settings,
She doesn't have it clicked for having a green screen. You have to have that option clicked for the fade to be there.
Oh,
I don't have my green screen up tonight.
Oh, you don't have a green. Okay, that's why it's giving you that weird effect. Okay.
Bye-bye.
See, this is what I'm talking about. If I go in here and click virtual background, and it gives me a fade option. Okay, you're gonna love this, Stephanie. Watch this. That's 100%. And this is me slowly fading back in. Oh, now this is the 0% fade. Yeah. Oh wait. Went all the way. That's okay. That's 3% fade, and you can see my green screen.
I thought I turned that off, but okay.
Here we go. Now this is the hard part, getting it right on 51 because I got to put it right
Oop,
on.
there went everything. I forgot.
See, I disabled. I took the check mark off the I have a green screen thing, and it instantly cleared up everything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you clicked it off and didn't click it on?
Yep.
Because it'll also one of the things about StreamYard is ask you if you want to use a green screen or blue screen.
Yep.
So because if it only used blue screen, you'd get that Star Wars thing where you couldn't have Blue Squadron. You know?
I'd forgotten about that.
Oh,
I might have to pick up some material from Walmart just to test out the blue. Do the blue screen instead.
Well, the green stuff is anything Kelly green. Fleece works really good because I don't know what it is. It absorbs the light better or something because it's fleecy.
It's a matte as
Exactly.
opposed to a shiny
Right.
fabric.
And then I don't know. I didn't look to see if they had fleece blue, which of course. Now I bet if you went to a Kentucky Walmart, they'd have blue.
Well, I'm in Indiana, so I should have blue for the Colts. Even though I'm in northwestern Indiana, which is Bears country. And yet here I am as a Packers fan. So I'll let you guys mull over that one for a bit.
I was never a big sports fan. And the only time I was ever a UT Vols fan was when I had family members that went there. My sister went to UTK and big Vols fan. I think she's in the alumni, whatever the hell that is. But I went to Iraq with the Tennessee Army National Guard. And most of the officers in the Tennessee Army National Guard had been to UTK. I got so tired of hearing Rocky Top.
Well, it's actually one of the state songs.
It is, but you don't understand. They played it everywhere. It's like every formation, every time the vehicles rolled out, every time the officers got together to drink beer. Just you couldn't walk 50 feet. Without ding, 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 ding. I do not have any Leonard Skinner albums in my record. I have a prodigious cassette tape and CD collection. Not one Leonard Skinner album. And somebody asked me about that one time. You don't have any Leonard Skinner in your collection? Because my collection's in alphabetical order. You don't have any Leonard Skinner? I said, I live in Georgia. Okay. If I want to hear Leonard Skinner, I just go open a window. And somebody will be playing Freebird. I mean, it's like, you can't go to the stop and go. Well, we don't have stop and goes anymore. You can't go to stop and go. You can't go to the grocery store without somebody playing Freebird. I've literally seen people in the aisles in the grocery store. Freebird starts playing. Everybody pulls out a lighter in the grocery store. I don't have to own Leonard Skinner. It's everywhere. It's like, how come you don't own Dirt? Go out in the yard, pull it up. And there's my Leonard Skinner rant for the day. Not that I dislike Leonard Skinner. It's just that I tend to get the music I collect tends to be stuff that ain't going to be there for very long. Movie soundtracks, which are very popular when the movie comes out. Specialty albums when like somebody, a group breaks up or gets back together or passes away, whatever. So, and then there's my Fight the Power purchases. When what's his name? Ice-T used to be in a group called Body Count.
Okay.
And they got in trouble for this one album they put out. Basically against police officers. The whole album was just controversial. And every police department in the country said, you need to ban that. You need to ban that album, censor it. Nobody buy it. I said, well, wait a minute. He says, I heard those songs, and they got a point. They aren't getting a fair shake from the police departments where they live. So they said, well, you need to ban it anyway. Because, right. I went out and bought the album. I've got the CD right. When I've mentioned this on the show before, when Bethel Bible Village got mad because Pat Boone, who sponsored the Bethel Bible Village Golf Classic to raise money for Bethel Bible Village, which takes care of foster kids that they can't put in the foster care program because their parents are in prison and they're too old. Nobody wants the older kids because they're trouble. This place takes care of very, noble thing. Pat Boone put a lot of money into that place. He went on the Grammys, I think it was the Grammys, in that leather outfit because he did that album In a Metal Mood. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it. But anyway, he went on there, and the people at Bethel Bible Village, being very fundamentalist type Christians folks, decided they were going to part ways with Pat Boone. Pat Boone. Okay. This is the guy who could probably tell them how to be better Christians. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big controversy here in Chattanooga about that because they dumped him, and everybody's like, but you guys need to lighten up, and get some thicker skin. Okay. What did I do? I went out and bought his album. And I haven't volunteered at Bethel Bible Village since then. So stick that in your hat and smoke it. So, okay. Let's see. Rocket launches. China put some more rockets up to their space station. They're getting very ambitious. Apparently, now what is this? They're trying to get to Shackleton Crater before the United States gets there, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I've lost track.
Trying to build a base or something like that. So, the United States wants to get there to keep China from putting up a for sale sign. Okay. And then
okay, that was an interesting.
Out of the blue, Amazon's captain, I cannot remember his name. The guy who owns Amazon.
Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Apparently, they've got their launcher or their lander plan for landing on the moon down pat, and NASA's giving them the go ahead to start building it somehow. It's pretty good. It looks like a two-story. Looks like a two-story Apollo lander. Like they're renting it out to the upstairs neighbors or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Guess what China's planning on building its lunar base with?
Is it?
Brick.
Brick makes sense.
What's the weakest point in a brick wall?
What's
the weakest point in a brick wall? I'm having trouble with my
all I can think of is the key brick, but you talking about
I'm
the
having
key
trouble
brick
with my internet. What's the weakest point in a brick wall? The mortar.
Yeah.
Why would you want to build something that regularly falls down in earthquakes, for instance? on a place where you have no air. This is not
Actually,
the smartest thing I've ever heard of.
I imagine they'll use the bricks as, of course, like bricks, but I imagine the mortar will be some sort of plastic, polymer, polyurethane, something like that. So once they get it put together,
Do you really think China is that sophisticated?
they probably make it out of old shopping bags for all I know. Go in there, the whole thing's covered in Walmart bags, Great Wall China bags, whatever they're.
I don't know. I just bricks. They're going to make the bricks out of lunar soil.
Yeah,
which at least makes sense.
That people have been using bricks for forever.
I don't know. This just does not. Yes, but
now you've seen these. I'm pretty sure you've seen them. The 3D printers for concrete, where they can 3D print a house.
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah,
I imagine this will be something like that.
Yeah.
Because it seems like
that's not what they're making it sound like.
I've seen something like that for the Mars project, where they're going to put a bunch of robots out there to make bricks.
Yes,
you probably seen
but
the
this
animation
is not.
for it.
And that makes sense, but what they're talking about here does not make sense. And now, admittedly, it may just be the reporting, but
bricks on moon, one China.
The first brick will be made from moon soil.
I'm going to get Joe. I'm going to get Joe canceled in China. That's
no, that will be me. Because
Joe, you can't do stupid o'clock in China anymore. Okay.
I don't know. I just don't.
No more Weibo. You have heard about? There's a. What wasn't it? Darn it! I've forgotten it. Uncle Roger.
Oh, jeez.
He's
the first major conference to discuss building a manned lunar base was held in Wuhan.
Well, if you wanted to get out of Wuhan,
sorry, I think I'm lagging.
Going to the moon would probably be a good idea. You wear a mask, no go to moon.
No.
I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Never heard a thing.
One of these days, China's going to launch the wrong rocket in the wrong direction. They're going to try and put men on the satellite, and they're going to wind up dropping a manned capsule in Washington D.C. and nuking their space station.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff.
Not Rocket B. Okay.
All right. Well, I got to put together my thought processes again here.
We were talking bricks.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was going to say that they've actually had a number of major rocket launch disasters over there, including one that. See, there's your bricks. Yeah.
Bricks. Hey, the base is fast.
Including one that actually crash landed on an entire village and wiped it out.
I have not heard that they wiped out a village, but that actually sounds like maybe propaganda covered it up.
Yes.
I did see the one where they dropped parts of it in a schoolyard.
What am I looking at in the background there? It looks like
this?
Yeah.
This is the Currywurst Museum in Berlin.
Okay, all right.
They actually have a. It's like the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile, but
I
it's a
was
museum.
going to say it looks like the headquarters for Oscar Mayer. Close.
Wait a minute, let me bring this up real quick here. You can actually see best of the worst.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry about that, Joe. I don't know why it brought you up full screen when I turned mine off. The whole time I was stationed in Berlin, I tried to go to all these little museums they had because I mean that place is just ate up with museums, and they've got the Nefertiti bust there,
Oh, okay.
and I've been to that one. I've been to the Pergamon Museum, which is awesome because they've got the Babylon Gate, which is it's made out of royal blue glazed brick and accented with gold.
Oh, wow.
And they've got it's a full reconstruction from this archaeological dig they did. And then they've got the Greek temple at Pergamon. They've got the facade, the front, all the what's that word? It's like the Temple of Athena in Athens, where they've got the big
Parthenon.
Yeah, like the Parthenon.
Mm-hmm.
You know how they got the big triangle shape in the front with all the bas relief sculptures.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
And I should know what that thing is called.
Me neither. I'm trying to remember the name right now, and it just ain't clicking in. But they've got one of those, but from the city of Pergamon, not the one from Parthenon. And then now Nashville has Parthenon.
Except that I really don't like the statue in it.
Really?
Because, yeah, it doesn't look Greek.
Looks Greek to me.
Hmm?
It's all Greek to me.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I'm just going to shut up.
Okay.
I can read and write Greek.
Oh, wow. It's almost that time, folks. And I actually remembered it. I actually remembered to do that tonight without Dawn showing up and telling me to do it. So I'm kind of. Yeah, Dawn didn't show up. We got Donna Carly, of course. Carl. Love to have you here, Carl. Hi, Sarah. Bye, Sarah. I don't know if Sarah's still here. I'm assuming she's still here. She hasn't said anything more.
Well, I know Dawn is with Michaela at Deadwood this weekend, I believe. So, because she's trying to get more people to join the creators directory. So I may be even busier with creating pages here soon.
Dawn is in Deadwood, North Dakota, and probably has no Wi-Fi.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of places like that. Deadwood's one, and they got their Boot Hills Cemetery or whatever it is. No, wait, Boot Hills Tombstone. Which, strange enough, they've got a lot of the Clantons and people buried there still. So, it's kind of it's kind of weird. Even though everything in Tombstone is modern, it still looks like Tombstone. I mean, even the 7-Eleven looks like Wyatt Earp should be sitting out front with 45. It's just, I don't know what it is about the place.
Do they have maybe like a building codes that require it to have a certain style?
No, it's just in the middle of the desert, and everything looks like Tombstone. I mean, it's
Oh, okay.
It's like here. If you drive down a street in our neck of the woods, the streets are either black, gray, concrete, whatever, and they're streets. Everything in Tombstone literally has sand blown across it and tumbleweeds. um, so no matter where you go, there's like sand piled up on the sides of the roads, over the sidewalks, and there's tumbleweeds rolling around up and stacked up against the fences and stuff. They literally have to go through with a dump truck and pick up tumbleweeds to get them the hell out of the way, because they'll pile up against fences and houses. They're fire hazards.
Yeah, I've seen video of a fire whirl that caught up a bunch of tumbleweeds, and that was a mess.
One of my favorite ones. We're out in the desert in this C-130. They were offloading cargo, or they'd offload cargo. They were unloading cargo, and they had to put the nets. They got the pallet, they got the net, and they put the nets over there, locking everything down. And the wind picks up our ground, so it's kind of a dust storm sort of thing. And all these tumbleweeds come rolling in. They smack up against the side of the pallet, roll right up the ramp into the back of the C-130. And they literally, everybody stopped what they were doing, ran in, grabbed tumbleweeds, trying to pull them back out. And they're getting, if you've ever been in the back of C-130, you got rollers in the floor for rolling cargo, and you got seats down the side that are made out of cargo netting. Okay. They're catching on everything. Okay, so there's bits and there's some guy with a broom trying to get all that crap out of the back of their airplane, because you're not allowed to take wood from Asian countries back to the United States because of all these bugs that get into it and stuff like that. And I think that might be an export permit. I don't know, but you never know in some of those countries. Oh, you took tumbleweed? You owe us $5,000.
Well, tumbleweeds are an invasive species anyway. They didn't start in the U.S.
Probably not. They got here though.
Yeah. They're actually. I was shocked to find that out. They're actually from the Middle East.
But yes, they are. Because we had fun with that. There were places. They used to do this a lot. Is a windstorm pickup, blow all these tumbleweeds up against their wire fences, and you couldn't see through the wire fence because all the tumbleweeds piled up, and people would have to go out there.
You're fading out again.
So we would have to go out and clear off all these tumbleweeds. And they kept coming to the engineers. Hey, you guys need to go clear the tumbleweeds.
Jeez. So did they manage to clear the C-130 of the tumbleweeds?
Eventually, the wind died down, but it's kind of funny. It put them 2 hours behind schedule.
Wow.
They're just trying to keep all that crap out of the back of their damn airplane. Because if you're loading cargo pallets, that sort of stuff can get in the rollers in the floor.
Yeah, screw them up.
And if you got a 2, 3, 4 ton pallet, you get that stuff jammed up, it ain't going nowhere real easy.
Yeah.
And of course, I just got to sit there in my truck and laugh at them. Hey, they're Air Force. They can do that. It's nice to see them work occasionally. You know what? Do you know what the most beloved job in the U.S. military is? That nobody will give you crap about your job if you do this job. Air conditioner repair technician for the Air Force.
Why?
Everybody loves him. Because if your air conditioner goes down in the middle of Iraq in the middle of summer and it's 135 degrees in the shade, you love that guy.
Yep.
Oh, that man is your best friend, and you buy him whatever beers he wants.
Yeah. You need some rippets. Hey, we got CDs. Get you a sandwich. We got steaks and lobster tails. Hey, come on, man. What do you need? They used to brag about that all the time when I was in Iraq, about the dinners we would every week. once a week, usually on a Friday, we'd have steak and lobster tails. Sounds great, don't it?
Oh,
The government
What?
was involved.
the government what?
The government was involved.
Oh,
The steaks were okay. I mean, they weren't, it wasn't anything to write home about. And the lobster tails were just these little it looks like they raided somebody's fish tank, but wasn't bad. Just wasn't,
what might it have been? Langoustines?
I have no clue. Just because after the army cooks got done with it, it's hard to tell what it was. No. No.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
To be fair, they were not army cooks; they were contract labor. I believe they were from Malaysia, actually, so they did know something about seafood, just smaller. Guys, it is that time of night.
It is. I made it all the way through.
Congratulations, Stephanie. For those of you who are viewing at home, Dan will not be doing a Last Man Standing tonight, so this is it. I'm sorry, guys. You're on your own now. You got to entertain yourself. I would like to thank Stephanie Osborne for appearing on our show, and I would like to thank Joe Bachman for actually getting here before I got here, and he's not even an admin. Which is kind of, I don't know how he did that. That's kind of cool.
Joe Dog posted the link.
Oh, well.
That's the only reason why I was able to get here.
Gotcha. All right. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I have slit the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.
Did not get away with it. Fuck, 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 fuck.